start recording. Oh, as you see, this is Control PC game. It's actually free on Epic Game Store right now. This is quite interesting. It's a modern game. It has support for, ray tracing, DLSS, cool new features. You don't have to have it, you can turn it off. I'm gonna try it with my RTX 3060 on turning that one on. You can see here using borderless. That is if I'm gonna stream, I want to use borderless mode. If you're not gonna stream or something, I recommend full screen for best performance. Using a 1440p monitor, and with DLSS I have these three settings. I went with this one. Might be sharper here, I haven't super analyzed the image, but this game does seem kind of smoothish anyway, but this seemed like a really nice compromise. DLSS, this is the DLSS option, which basically upscales the image from this one to 1440p, 2560 by 1440. Looks really nice, works good. This is pretty much the high preset, only I have turned off one thing. It's like the motion blur. These settings are off. This one you cannot adjust when you are using DLSS. If you turn it off, you can, tweak this one. And using texture on high, since my 3060 has 12 gig of VRAM, that should be fine. And I have ray tracing to high, and my monitor is running 120 Hz, and I've actually locked the performance to my frame rate to 60 FPS using MSI Afterburner, and that is just to get like a consistent and smooth frame rate. I probably would have left it unlocked if I would have used my G-Sync compatible LGB9 TV instead. This is my main monitor, it do not have G-Sync, so since I cannot get 120 FPS consistently, I went with locking to 60. Should work really nice with recording, since that should be hopefully a steady, nice capture rate for the game for OBS to capture. But this is my settings, and I'm using a Steam controller. Hopefully you can see my settings here. This is just my kind of basic startup preset that might need tweaking when I go further in the game. I've just jumped in the game, and I have, make sure that the basic functionality of my controller is working here. First thing to point out that is not good is that this game, like almost everyone, will not allow you to have X input, like a gamepad input, and a mouse and keyboard at the same time. So if you are walking with a gamepad, like an Xbox 360 or something, whatever, and you use your mouse, it will stop. Like the game will freeze, and then will it switch to your mouse. And then if you stop using or press, your joystick to walk on a gamepad again, it will then switch to that, and then it will freeze your mouse. It's so stupid. There's no technical reason for that. Like, game developers say like, yeah, stop it. This unnecessary. There is nothing good about that. Like, why? You don't need, you can have both inputs being registered at the same time. There is nothing technical about that. It's just such a bad decision in every way. But one thing that is good is that I played the Necromunda FPS or no, this was like 2 videos, one video before this, and then it was that game. And you had to have return to enter the game. Here it tells you press return to enter the game, but you can actually left click to get in the game. That's nice. But let's see, I do... No, alright, exactly. I don't think you need return, and you don't need return to just get into this game menu. So that's nice, and the options are fairly decent and everything, you know, nice some tweaking. So that's nice, you know, good amount of tweaking here. But like this one, like why not have a little tick box? Force controller button, like force it. So then if you have mouse and keyboard and an Xbox, it will force to always show the Xbox input, you know. Or you could have like a PC button here, so let you pick Xbox, PlayStation or PC. And allow us to use joystick, you know, gamepads and mouse and keyboard all together at the same time. There are no technical reason. All you would have needed is add a little bit PC button here. And we could have just chosen which button layout we would have liked to see. It's so stupid. Anyway, trying to move on. And I'm gonna have a fresh look at this. I have not like gotten into the story because that's good. You can skip all the cutscene stuff. Really nice. Nice amount of settings here. Should be good for everyone. I don't think there is a difficult setting. So if you want like the only thing to like counter the difficulty is by enabling, you know, assist mode. So kinda interesting. I don't know if that's good or bad. But let's start a new game and we see how I feel about it. This is like, you know, first look of the game. That should be the most powerful, the best to like draw you as a player, new player in. I loved, you know, Total Biscuit when he did these videos. You know, so I kind of like want to do that kind of style. Obviously he was better than me at doing it, but I kind of like that like first just pure fresh look of the game. So that's why I'm doing this video here. And from there on I decide if I, you know, play more of the game, if I want to stream it, if I want to record a series of it, or if I just don't ever gonna play it. But you know, this is free now, so it's no harm. I did not buy this game because I'm a little bit skeptical against third person kind of games, and you know, this I wasn't sure about this. On a technical level, very interested. Gameplay wise, a little bit like I'm not sure. Let's get into it.
Fair warning. This is gonna be weirder than usual. Can't be helped. You called me. So here I am. I know I shut you out sometimes. I'm always glad to hear from you. It's just that I get my hopes up. So many times it's led to nothing. I found nothing. It's like we live in a room and there's a poster on the wall. We stare at it and we think that's the whole world. The room and the poster. The picture's something nice. A landscape, a famous person. Like in that movie, what is it called? The prison movie. The room's a cell, and the picture, it's different for each of us. It can be beautiful or terrible, but we're all transfixed. But it's all a lie. Something to distract us from the truth. They're lying to us. We're lying to ourselves. The room's not the world. The world is much bigger and much stranger. There's a hole hidden behind that poster that leads to the real world. We all feel safe in that room. But sometimes something crawls out from behind the poster. And the ones that see it happen freak out and try to forget what they saw. I'm here. Why did you bring me here?
Right? Very
Hello? Anyone here?
very dark introduction here. Kinda mentally ill almost. It kinda vibe you get. So first thing I notice is that the motion blur is turned off, but it does seem like there is like a minimal maybe something still going on. It could be my VA panel that with these colors has a little bit of, you know, ghosting, so but be nice. It looks pretty damn good here. And as I said, even on the higher DLSS setting, the game has a little bit of kind of like smoothish settings to it. So bumping it down to help the performance doesn't really affect the image for me when I'm like sitting like an arm's length away here from my 27-inch monitor. And you can run, walk. You can like walk a little bit faster. Running, jumping here. Alright, kind of creepy vibe here, starting off. Not a fan that you need to hold to pick things up, but that's how you do it. Fairly quick, so good atmosphere. Graphics are definitely top notch. Oh, nice reflection here. Not a fan, as I said, of this like third person here. This would have been first person, I would have been more into it. Fairly good, the movement, but a little bit clunky since I'm not like a third person playing. Yeah, if I could have played this in first person, I would have been much, you know, more interesting for me. Looks pretty sharp here. I still see a lot of details and read here. Do I need to tweak this? Sorry, it's like... Maybe, yeah, that could be better. Very creepy music here. Nice that it auto opens the door for you, like that.
Federal Bureau of Control. All these years I've been looking for them and they were hiding in plain sight.
Cannot crouch to get in here, not yet at least. You can crouch later on. Still no. Maybe that's maybe a glass door, that's why you cannot crouch. Oh, yeah, now I see it. Yeah. Very nice dark atmosphere here. Not a lot of Music, just like this kind of building up a little bit creepy music so far. Collectibles for some reason here. Can't really read what that is saying. Confidential. Not sure so far what like the game is even about. Or that it is some kind of mystical or...
Hello?
So it's very sad that your gamepad and mouse and keyboard is not working at the same time. Because I tried it first, and then you could like walk super slow, you could walk faster, 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 up till I think it was almost running. So it was very nice, and now I'm forced to be, I have to toggle to walk like this, and then toggle it off, and now I walk this, and then I have sprint on the, when I push the my joystick stick all the way out. It's much better if I could have combined it like the analog movement with the mouse input here. Would have been so much better.
Hey, excuse me.
There you are. You are here about the job. Janitor's assistant. You need to go to the interview. Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor, by the way. You'll work for me. You can say I sent you. If they don't hire you, you are no helvet. There be work for the axe. Take them behind the sauna, jumalauta.
I've done enough night shift loner jobs to know it makes us come off weird. Ahti the janitor is a friendly face in my book.
Better than somebody with no face at all. Think about it.
So that's
Face.
But that said, I know what you're thinking. If there's an axe murderer around, that's him.
so very nice facial animation, and I believe Remedy is a Finnish studio, or at least developers, and you can clearly hear that in the English accent, and the subtitle did emphasize that. So I'm guessing the
This
game...
seal. I saw it a long time ago. I keep seeing it in my dreams.
I'm thinking that this game, like if it is like a kind of this mysterious vibe, it wants you to go around to like, you know, discover more around the story. Even though if it isn't forcing you. So... And that's why I also locked this game to 60 frames per second instead of letting it go loose or try to tweak it for 120. Because it seems to be a little bit of a slower pace. There are some actions ahead, but it doesn't seem like Doom action. So I think 60 frames for me is a good, nice compromise. And combining with my monitor being 120, it kind of adds hertz. It will double the frame rate and make it a little bit, you know, it not double the frame rate, but it will show the same image twice, and it will look a little bit smoother actually, even if it's only 60. It looks pretty damn good here, so. Oh, am I back from the beginning? Okay. That's what? That's weird. Right? Or is it another entrance? Huh. Okay. Seems like I came in there, I walked up, Oh, but that's a... this gotta be a different entrance, okay. Right. Nope, maybe not. Hmm. That's creepy. Right. There we go.
The cell and the poster. I was 11 years old the first time I saw behind the poster. They told me I imagined it. I've been trying to pull it down ever since. Will you help?
Definitely some creepy mental vibe to that, to her. Or, I've seen none of the cutscene or read none of the text. I've just played this kind of speed run through this part to get feel for the controller. So, really kind of dark vibe to it. Amazingly graphic, really good. You know, the actor, the voice actor so far. But I'm more into like faster action game or stuff, so I'm not like, this seemed really like damn good, and I haven't watched people play it on Twitch or something like that. Maybe as like a minute here or there or something. So, but this definitely, I can see you know, the greatness in this game, even though I'm not super drawn into it. That's just a personal thing.
Did I lose you there for a moment? You know what's on my mind. My baby brother, Dylan. 17 years since the men of this bureau took him.
So I'm very curious to play, because I do know that there are some like abilities stuff you get, and to see how that is, that part of the game. Because this part, you know, so far it's fine and everything, and you know, that's subjective. Like, this game, I would say, has a really powerful, great start to it. Like, you know, if you're into these mysterious, like darker games like this. But for me, like, you know, just love to get in crazy into the action, guns blazing. You know, obviously that isn't this type of game, so I'm not super drawn into it. But I can definitely, you know, I see why this game has gotten, I believe, good reviews and everything, because it so far, I definitely see why. It's a little bit bright in my room here, so would it probably have been better if I would have like closed the blinds or play it in a darker room to kind of get the full suspense of the vibe. You can, you know, open your... There's a lot of things going on here. You can read, and, you know, you can get more of like the deeper into the story. So, you know, if you like this, you know, this with like collecting, finding out more about the story, reading up and stuff, this probably is gonna be a very good fit for you. I mostly don't like read this kind of lore or something, you know, that you find within the game. I want the game itself, if there is a story to tell it, and I don't necessarily, you know, since I'm more into the action and the gameplay of games, you know, the story isn't my main thing for me. That I'm worried about is, you know, how the game feels. I don't think I played any game just for the story. But this seems to have definitely a deep story
Shit.
that, you know, a lot of
Shit,
depth
shit.
to it, so.
You want me to pick it up? The murder weapon? Really?
And this mysterious vibe and everything. And, you know, the contrast seems definitely good, responsive and everything. Only like, if I could have chosen like in a first person view, probably we just would have been, I don't know, it just, I feel it's more natural, you know, more comfortable to me, so. But I do get why, because you can
Something's
see your
outside.
character and stuff like that.
Was coming here a mistake?
Maybe get more connected to it and other stuff. But I've speedrun this, so I'm gonna when I pick this up, I'm gonna, well, one of the little bit.
And there goes the poster.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that Russian roulette a winner and you're it.
Look at this place. Where am I?
Yeah, very creepy vibe here, but yeah, this is soon we're gonna see one of my first kind of complaints with like the third person view here, and let's move on here. Kind of weird. And when you could see her holding, you know, her gun to her forehead, that they really, to me, emphasize that there's something mentally going on here, but nice smooth movement. Interesting. But when I pick up the gun later on, here is where we're gonna see some interesting.
Same gun. Okay.
You
Now I
can
have
switch shoulder here. And that's one thing I might need to tweak my I might need to tweak my setting here to do that in a more better way. Because that is what you're gonna be needing to use a lot of the times to maximize the game. It recharges, everything's fine. You can crouch. That's also something I might need to tweak later on here. So there seems to be, I don't know if there is like delay for the shots, but sometimes it seems the gun seems inaccurate. So that is where I think that the first person view would have helped me with just the aiming and everything. The next thing is going to be so the covering, because sometimes when I'm like this, I actually couldn't, you know, I couldn't hit them because the view was, you know, wrong. You see there, I hit this one once, even though it looked like I shouldn't. Because this is annoying, that's why I don't like third person. I just could not shoot because the bullets doesn't come, you know, in that way. It comes from the barrel. So it's very easy if you're standing like this to hit, you know, the wrong thing. And that is, you know, that's something that you know, you need to get learn that, you know, the bullets, you can't just aim with the crosshair. You need to sometimes think, is my gun like, is like here in something like this, I might be hitting this, you know, instead. That actually happened to me several times. I was, you know, aiming and shooting and I could not, you know, the bullets didn't go to the crosshair because they were, you know, an obstacle in the line of sight. Even though, you know, yes, normally it didn't look like it, but it's just, you know, if you, like me, don't play third person a lot, that might be something that can annoy you or bug you. That.
Something's coming. This threat. An attack. Duty as director. Keep the Bureau safe.
Did you hear that? It's the dead man. Right after the pyramid spoke to me, and it was just noise, and I understood every word. And this gun's alive. You know what? I'm happy. Happy to be here.
So the voice acting is really, like, I
Things
think,
have quieted down outside.
phenomenal. Really amazing voice actor so far, and the story definitely seems to be, you know, so far good. Really not good, great. Like draw you in this mysterious kind of dark, eerie vibe. And I definitely will be, you know, I'm gonna do more playing of this video. I can see the greatness in this game and everything, like so beautiful graphical. If I'm gonna do, you know, play it through the whole game, I'm gonna probably research how long it is, and if I don't get to like the abilities in like the next maybe 15-20 minutes, something like that, I might, you know, just record a video when I play to that point, and if I feel that you know, the game keeps getting better and better for me personally, like, you know, just keeps me going, it might be a YouTube series. Or if I'm just feel like, oh, okay, I want to play more, but I'm not sure, I might, you know, do a streaming of it or something, just playing more. But I see it's not, I don't see anything bad so far about the game. It's just me not being this crazy third person that is the off-putting.
You can't let this happen. 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 You stopped it. You... Oh, thank you. That was... horror.
Seems like she's gonna have like a mental breakdown.
Get the fuck away
definitely. And here was the first time when I was like shooting like this and I couldn't hit the enemy. Really nice graphical effect here. But yeah, if I can, you know, get accustomed to like the third person and the combat, I would definitely be playing a lot more of this game. So we'll see. Definitely seemed like a absolutely great game so far. Just if I can get used to this third person mode, it's gonna be the deciding factor, and how the abilities and that feels. Having to switch shoulders. No, I don't like I wouldn't have to do this in a first person view, so that's kind of like off-putting for me. Having to always like think if I'm gonna have to swap over and the line of sight. So, but that's just personally. It's nothing about the game in any ways, you know, being anything but really good. If you see some tearing, that is because I'm not using vertical sync. I'm only locking the frame rate. Oh no, I didn't lock the frame rate using MSI Afterburner. I'm locking it using the Nvidia tool, and obviously that means that the frames sometimes can, even though that 60 frames are perfectly nice little multiple, you know, half of 120, the frames can still come not like in a perfect, you know, 1 frame, 2 frame. They can be 1, 2, 2, 2. They can be a little bit unsmooth and cause tearings. Would have been nice if the game had an option for like half vertical sync. You could have used that instead of the Nvidia.
Secure line of communication. Guidance. Reach the hotline.
Very, very creepy.
Says the dead man.
Very creepy. Creepy vibe here. So I'm not going to like evaluate RTX on or off. There you can check like Digital Foundry or other reviews of this. So quite difficult to not get hit here, I feel, sometimes. Yeah, the main thing is gonna be how I can get accustomed to the, you know, the combat if I'm gonna keep playing. Combat and abilities, because everything else really feels so solid, so great. It's just the combat thing with this view is going to be the deciding factor how much I'm gonna play of this game. And for Epic to, you know, giving up this free is kind of crazy, because this still is a really pretty damn, you know, modern game and everything. So I'm gonna just do a video a little bit more here. It's so nice with the some of the distraction of the environment. The effects look so good, and like the movement feels good. It's just getting used to this view when I'm shooting and everything, and kind of interested that they didn't have like what do you call it, cover system. This game seems like it could have definitely, you know, benefit from it.
Reminder, if you experience an unanticipated building shift, follow these simple steps. 1. Search the room for any altered items or
Ooh,
objects.
that's a nice reflection.
2.
Whoa.
Carry the altered item or object of power
That would have been
to the
tough to do
nearest
without
safe room.
ray tracing. Well, yeah.
For Bureau
with ray.
staff to find you supervisor via the nearest intercom and await further instructions. Thank you for your attention.
And I really love DLSS, you know. Just by playing, I can't really tell like that there's anything wrong with the image here. That looks really, really nice. Sure that this is gonna fade away in a moment, the resources. And really creepy. Love the atmosphere and the background, you know, the noise and everything. Yeah, it's so good. This is health. Kind of weird that they did not have like any difficulty, you know, easy, normal, hard, but you know. Really a solid performance here in 60 frames with the RTX 3060 in 1440p. So really, like it's not really anything bad so far to really say about the game, except, you know, for the... That was weird that you can push it over so easy, that one. Okay, weird. There we have some flimmering, could have been DLSS causing that. Yeah, there's not really... here we see it again, it could be DLSS, could just be the game itself. Nothing that really subtracts anything for me. Yeah, the big complaint only so far is that gamepad and keyboard and mouse cannot be combined, because that would have been perfect for the Steam controller, so I could have walked, you know, exactly with sneak and everything. Everything else seems really, really awesome. Highly recommend this game if you liked what you've seen so far. Okay, that's the way to go, I believe. Let's have a quick peek in here. I do believe that you can like... Is it like... maybe do some upgrade and stuff like that here, so... Yeah, this is gonna be interesting how this is work. And the combat. That's are the only main things that like really... going to be, do I like it or do it annoy the crap out of me? If I like it, I'm gonna definitely be playing a lot more of this game. And so far they feel really great with the Steam controller and everything, so nice, good, positive.
The hissing sound that tried to invade me earlier. The hiss. Burrowing into everything in this place. Is the hiss your enemy? Alright, it's our enemy.
Yeah, seems to be something mental going on.
Contagious. It burrows in like an infuriating melody that makes you hum it over and over.
Definitely think that this voice actor is absolutely incredibly good. Really captured the kind of scary horror mystery vibe going on here. Big thumbs up for this voice actor. Something to keep an eye out for in future games or maybe previous games. But here definitely could see like a cover system being something nice. And here I felt like a cover system could have been
Cleanse
really
the
nice.
control point. What does that mean? Help me fix it.
Cleanse, yeah, let's do this. And I think there's a kind of 1 or 2 nice cutscenes, and then I think this mission is over, and we can end like this. This quick look. It's a really good quick look. It's not. The game is great. It's just not. It's this third person. Definitely, it's not something that I need to get used to. You do have a nice little map here. You can't move the map. No, don't think so. Okay. Kinda interesting map. Not the best map I've seen, but workable. Better than some. Worse than some. Alright.
Holy shit! You did it!
Hmm.
We did it!
Hello? Can you hear me? Are you with us?
Okay.
Are you still sane?
What's this? Oh, okay. Can I... Oh, if I unlock points, I can then jump quickly back and forth. Oh, okay.
Please, talk to me. We saw you deal with the compromised agents.
Okay, compromise. Some creepy stuff going on here.
I can't tell you how happy I am to talk to somebody sane.
The feeling's mutual. Yeah, I'm Pope, Emily Pope, Dr. Darling's assistant.
My turn. Should I lie? Jesse Faden. I'm just visiting. I should have lied.
Oh, shit. You're the new director. Hold on. We're coming out.
You can skip these, so that's really nice. Or you can... Yeah, skip.
Director Faden.
Call me Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. I'm Emily. Look, somehow this hostile force, this
Hiss?
Her facial animation
That
was not the
works.
best, but...
somehow
oh,
the hiss managed to infiltrate the building without any warning.
And just like that,
That's
my name
better.
for it is official. The hiss.
oh.
Like the sound of poison gas leaking in.
We're in full lockdown. It seems to have spread everywhere and to everyone not protected by an HRA. And, extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. This whole situation is just a lot.
Trench is dead. Shot.
Ah,
I found his body. And the gun. Do I tell her it looked like a suicide?
the service weapon.
Also, and this can sound crazy, but he keeps appearing to me, saying things. It's hard to make out, but he told me to cleanse the control point, push the hiss out. The whole room shifted around.
You did that? And you entered the building when it was already in the lockdown before you became the new director? How?
I'm not ready to tell her about you yet. A janitor let me in.
What the
I
fuck?
love it. This is fucking unbelievable. I can't even... Look, Jesse, I have a million questions, and you probably have a million more.
Like, do you know my brother Dylan? Not yet.
But there's something I need to ask you to do first. If you can cleanse a control point, then you can maybe cure those infected or possessed by the hiss. Because if that's possible, our options are very different.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already. She's the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for so long. But I can't trust her yet. Or rather, the Bureau she's a part of. Yes. I can try. I'm speaking for you, of course. We can try it together.
Very mentally
Okay.
stuff going
With
on.
me? We did it before. Push the hiss out.
Alright, try it on this one.
It didn't work. The hiss has burrowed too deep. Ripping it out rips them apart.
The fuck is the hiss, right? Very
Jesse, over here.
creepy story
We need to
here.
make a plan, Jesse.
I can't cleanse them.
I saw. It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director. Jesse.
I'm flickering on her right arm. Could also be
I'm gonna
DLSS, who
tell her why I'm
knows?
here. I'll risk it. Listen. The Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary, 17 years ago. The Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time. That's enough. Maybe that's too much already. I can't tell her about Dylan and the rest yet.
I've seen mentions of an Altered World event case dealing with Ordinary. You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers. I think they're what saved us. Or a few of us. And Director Trench would know.
Trench. The ghost, or whatever he is. He mentioned something called the hotline. Said I should find it.
It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone. A direct line of communication between the director and the board. Maybe he can talk to you more clearly through that. I mean, Trench has years and years of experience. He might know how to destroy the hiss.
Where is the hotline?
It's kept in the communications department through the mailroom. It's part of this sector, so we can access it even with the lockdown in place. We'll get the door open for you.
Okay, that's my next stop.
That's Tomasi's department. He's head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
Looks like some
They call
anti-aliasing
me the
flickering in the
director.
background there.
But that's not me.
Could be DLSS again,
Not a
who knows?
director type.
Not
Not
too
a leader.
disturbing.
Why am I here? I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told me all those years, I know it's real now. I didn't imagine this. I want to be a part of this world. What scares me shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
What?
know this is
Yes.
all new to you, so don't hesitate to ask me anything you want to know. There are no stupid questions.
Okay, so
The
I
door to the
think
comms department is just outside the boardroom back in the lobby. They should have gotten it open by now. Follow the signs to the mailroom. You can get to the hotline containment chamber through there. Good luck, Jesse. See you back here once you have the hotline.
Thanks, Emily.
so. I'm guessing I'm at the boardroom and I need to go where that yellow sign is. So that's nice. I'm gonna stop the video here. It seems really good. Let me jump out here with the menu. Yes. So another thing that is a little bit not so good is it doesn't seem to be like game slots, so you can only play this one person at a time. Because if I press continue, I get to jump into the game. If I press new game, it starts it over. So if you get this game and you... Right, I started this place, yeah. That's where it said that when you die or something like that, you restart at this spawning point that you unlock. But yeah, so you can only play it one person at a time. Seemed like a bad decision to not have any kind of save slots or game slots. There's no manual saving, so you have to rely on checkpoints. So far I haven't died, so I don't know if they are good or bad. There's no difficulty settings. You do have like the option to turn on some like assistance help. That could be problem depending on how good you are, how the game develops. So I can't point out so far good or bad. There we go. So it is free, which is really awesome on the Epic Game Store. The graphics overall, seem really top-notch. With the RTX, you can enable ray tracing, or you can turn it off for, better performance. If it's off, it's still I quickly tried it. It still looks really, really nice. So there's really nice options there. If you have Nvidia graphics card, you can turn on DLSS, with adds gives you a bit more performance. I didn't really see any huge degradation in image quality, so for me that's a nice plus. I do know that not everyone likes DLSS, but to each their own. I think when it's in this implementation and in the Necromunda implementation, I enjoyed it. It gave my RTX 3060 a nice performance bump, so I'm all for that. So a really big thumbs up for the graphical in this. The facial animations are mostly real nice. Sometimes the mouth, the animation when they're speaking seems a little bit Yankee, but overall the animations are really also thumbs up. The voice actor of the main character here, Jesse, is like so amazing. The other characters seems good, but like the main really is spots on. Get this kind of horror mystery, kind of mentally going on vibe. Yeah, dials that straight in. So the voice acting seems really nice. The music like also has this kind of mystery eerie vibe. I don't know if it's gonna be like combat music, but it seems really good so far. Like this creepy atmosphere, like the overall atmosphere of the game, really, really, really good. Story-wise, it seems good, but it also seems like a slow burner. Like it builds slowly up. It's not like this, like boom, here comes the story. Now you need to like grab it. A good example for me is BioShock Infinite. It starts a bit slow, but then it kind of like explodes pretty early in with with stuff, it kind of like explodes more like and grabs you in a more direct way. This seems to be like continuing this kind of creepy, slowy burn. So that's if, you know, that's just if you like that, you know, you love it. You want a more like explosive, direct story, you might feel a little bit like, the control wise, you know, seems really solid. It's just, you know, developers, they should just stop with this bullshit with gamepad or mouse and keyboard. Let us use them at the same time. There are no technical, you know, difficulties stopping that. It isn't. So that's bullshit. That would have made these games even better, because then I could, you know, get a much nicer, you know, walking around and tweaking with, you know, yes, it adds a lot more tweaking to it and more customization and much nicer. And that is, I will play more because I'm very interested to see if the story keeps slowly building, and I would like to get to the point where you start like upgrading to see how that feels. I would have loved an option to go in first person view, because then I would have, you know, felt more at home. It would have just been much more smoother. The third person, you know, switching shoulder over the shoulder view and just made the combat feels a bit more finicky to me. So, you know, if you like third person, that's a big plus. If you, like me, love first person, that's you know, a little bit of a setback. But seems like a really solid, good game. This is just, you know, my own preference here that's going to decide how much I'm going to play with it, and obviously how the story continues. But I feel it gives me like a pretty confident boost that the story is gonna at least keep building more and give you more into it. So I feel that that's not gonna be an issue. And then it's gonna be how the combat evolves with abilities. But it seems like a pretty decent starting ground. I don't know why they didn't incorporate like a cover system into this, because I think that could have been in a. I'm not a fan of cover system, but in this instance, I feel that it probably could have helped and enhanced the combat a little bit. So, but yeah, highly recommend you checking this one out, especially since it is, you know, you can get it free if you have an Epic Game Store account. So go check it out. Might be a series of this if you just want to see someone play it. There's a good possibility of it. I'm gonna check how long it is and stuff like that, but might actually be, it's a high probability of me playing a lot more of it, that's for sure. So that's a really nice first impression. It's not an awesome first impression, like you know, it isn't like an awesome, but it's a good solid first look here. So feel free to stay tuned if you might want to see more, or grab the game and play it and try it out yourself. Epic Game Store, I'm gonna try to remember to put a link down below for you to easy just quickly get to it. And stay tuned for more videos